Sam Altman, the visionary who shaped the future of artificial intelligence, a friendly story of ambition, innovation, and the pursuit of a better world. Chapter 1, Early Life, The Boy from St. Louis. There is something about the American Midwest that produces people who dream big. Perhaps it is the open skies that stretch endlessly above the plains, or maybe it is the quiet determination that comes from growing up in communities where hard work is not just a value but a way of life. Sam Altman, one of the most influential figures in the world of technology and artificial intelligence, was born on April 22, 1985, in St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis is a city with a rich history, a city that sits at the confluence of the Mississippi and Missouri rivers, a place where the past meets the present in a constantly evolving urban landscape. It is a city that has produced scientists, musicians, athletes, and entrepreneurs. Sam Altman would become one of the most notable of them all, though no one in those early years could have predicted just how far he would go. Sam was born into a family that valued education and curiosity. His mother was a dermatologist and his father was a real estate broker. They were not billionaires or tech moguls, but they were thoughtful, accomplished people who created a home where questions were encouraged and learning was celebrated. Sam has often spoken about how his parents nurtured his curiosity, how they allowed him to explore ideas and interests without imposing rigid boundaries on his imagination. From a very young age, Sam was different. Not different in a way that set him apart negatively, but different in a way that made him stand out intellectually. He was intensely curious about how things worked. He would take apart electronics to see what was inside. He would read books far beyond his age level, devouring content about science, technology, and the future. He was not the kind of kid who simply accepted the world as it was. He wanted to understand it, and more importantly, he wanted to change it. His early years in St. Louis were marked by a love of computers. Like many children growing up in the 1980s and 1990s, Sam was exposed to personal computers as they were becoming more common in American households. But while most kids used computers to play games or chat with friends, Sam was different. He was fascinated by the possibilities of what computers could do. He began teaching himself to program, spending hours in front of a screen, writing code and experimenting with software. There is a charming story that those who knew Sam as a child often tell. When he was about 10 years old, he wrote a program that allowed his mother to send messages to patients at her dermatology clinic. It was a simple program, nothing that would impress a professional programmer, but it was an early sign of Sam's instinct to use technology to solve real-world problems. His mother was impressed not just by the technical skill her young son displayed, but by the thoughtfulness behind it. Sam did not write the program just to show off. He wrote it because he saw a problem and wanted to help solve it. This early instinct to identify problems and use technology to address them would become a defining characteristic of Sam Altman's career. It was not just about building things for the sake of building things. It was about building things that mattered. Sam's childhood was also marked by a love of reading. He was an avid reader, consuming books on a wide range of subjects. He was particularly drawn to science fiction, which fueled his imagination and his belief that the future could be radically different from the present. Authors like Isaac Asimov, Arthur C. Clarke, and Ray Bradbury painted pictures of worlds transformed by technology, and Sam found himself captivated by these visions. He would later say that science fiction played a significant role in shaping his worldview and his belief in the power of technology to solve humanity's biggest challenges. As Sam grew older, his interest in technology deepened. He spent more and more time on computers, teaching himself programming languages and experimenting with software. He was not content to simply use technology, he wanted to understand how it worked at a fundamental level. This drive to understand, combined with his natural curiosity and intelligence, set the stage for the remarkable career that lay ahead. Sam's parents, while supportive of his interests, also instilled in him a sense of responsibility and humility. They taught him the value of hard work, the importance of treating others with kindness and respect, and the need to use his talents for the benefit of others. These values would stay with Sam throughout his life, influencing his decisions and his approach to leadership in ways that went far beyond the world of technology. By the time Sam was a teenager, he was already beginning to develop the qualities that would later make him one of the most influential figures in the technology industry: curiosity, determination, empathy, and a deep belief in the power of technology to make the world a better place. The seeds of his future success were being planted in the soil of his childhood, nurtured by a loving family and a community that valued learning and achievement. Chapter 2: Growing Up in the Midwest. Growing up in St. Louis gave Sam Altman a grounded perspective that many tech entrepreneurs lack. The Midwest is not Silicon Valley. It is not New York or San Francisco, where ambition and excess often go hand in hand. The Midwest is a place of moderation, practicality, and community, values that would later influence Sam's approach to leadership and business. As a teenager, Sam attended John Burroughs School, a prestigious private school in the St. Louis area. The school was known for its rigorous academic program and its emphasis on well-rounded education. Sam excelled academically, but he was also involved in various activities outside the classroom. He was not just a bookworm or a lone coder sitting in a dark room. He was socially engaged, thoughtful, and charismatic, even as a teenager. It was at John Burroughs School that Sam began to develop the interpersonal skills that would later serve him well in the world of venture capital and startup leadership. He learned how to communicate his ideas persuasively, how to listen to others, and how to build relationships. These are skills that are often overlooked in the tech world, where technical ability is sometimes valued above all else, but Sam understood early on that great ideas are nothing without the ability to inspire others to believe in them. Sam also had a formative experience during his teenage years that would shape his views on identity and society. He came out as gay at a time when doing so was still fraught with social challenges, particularly in parts of the country that were not as progressive as the coastal cities. Sam has spoken about the courage it took to come out and how the experience taught him resilience, empathy, and the importance of being true to oneself. These qualities would later make him a vocal advocate for diversity and inclusion in the tech industry, and they would inform his leadership style in ways that went beyond mere business strategy. The Midwest also gave Sam a sense of proportion. While many tech entrepreneurs become caught up in the bubble of Silicon Valley, where everyone seems to be building the next billion-dollar company, Sam never lost touch with the broader world. He understood that most people do not live in San Francisco or New York, and that the decisions made in boardrooms and labs have real consequences for real people. This perspective would later influence his approach to artificial intelligence, a technology with the potential to affect every person on the planet. Sam's teenage years were also marked by a growing awareness of social issues. He became interested in politics, philosophy, and ethics, engaging in discussions about the role of technology in society and the responsibilities that come with innovation. He was not content to simply build things, he wanted to think carefully about what he was building and why it mattered. This early engagement with ethical questions would later become a defining feature of his approach to AI development. One formative experience during Sam's teenage years was his participation in a summer program focused on leadership and public service. The program brought together young people from across the country and exposed them to the challenges facing communities around the world. Sam was deeply affected by the experience, which broadened his perspective and reinforced his belief that technology could be a powerful tool for social good. He left the program with a renewed sense of purpose and a clearer understanding of the kind of impact he wanted to have on the world. Sam also developed a love of travel during his teenage years. His family took trips to various parts of the United States and abroad, exposing him to different cultures and ways of life. These experiences broadened his horizons and deepened his appreciation for the diversity of human experience. They also reinforced his belief in the importance of empathy and understanding, qualities that would later make him a more effective leader and communicator. By the time Sam graduated from John Burroughs School, he was a well-rounded young man with a clear sense of direction. He had excelled academically, developed strong social skills, and cultivated a deep commitment to using technology for the benefit of humanity. He was ready for the next chapter of his life, and he set his sights on one of the most prestigious universities in the world. Chapter 3: Stanford University and the Spark of Entrepreneurship. After graduating from John Burroughs School, Sam Altman set his sights on one of the most prestigious universities in the world, Stanford University. Located in Palo Alto, California, Stanford is the epicenter of the tech world. It is the alma mater of the founders of Google, Yahoo, Hewlett-Packard, and countless other technology companies. For a young man with dreams of changing the world through technology, there was no better place to be. Sam enrolled at Stanford in 2003 to study computer science. From the moment he arrived on campus, he was immersed in the vibrant entrepreneurial culture that permeates every corner of the university. Stanford is not just a place where students go to learn. It is a place where students go to build, to experiment, and to dream. The campus is alive with startup ideas, venture capital pitches, and late-night coding sessions. Sam thrived in this environment. He was a natural fit for the Stanford ecosystem, where intellectual curiosity and entrepreneurial ambition were not just accepted but celebrated. He quickly became involved in the campus tech scene, connecting with fellow students who shared his passion for building things. One of the most important experiences Sam had at Stanford was his exposure to the world of artificial intelligence. The early 2000s were a fascinating time for AI. The field had experienced decades of boom and bust cycles, with grand promises followed by disappointing results. But there was a renewed sense of optimism in the air. New techniques in machine learning were beginning to show promise, and there was a growing belief that AI was finally ready to make the leap from academic curiosity to practical application. Sam was captivated by the potential of AI. He saw it not just as an interesting technical challenge but as a technology that could fundamentally transform the world. This vision of AI as a force for good would stay with him for the rest of his career, eventually leading him to co-found OpenAI and push the boundaries of what artificial intelligence could achieve. At Stanford, Sam also had the opportunity to interact with some of the brightest minds in the world. The university attracted top students and faculty from around the globe, and Sam thrived in this intellectually stimulating environment. He formed friendships and collaborations that would last a lifetime, and he developed a network of contacts that would later prove invaluable in his career. Sam was also exposed to the world of venture capital and startup financing at Stanford. The university's proximity to Silicon Valley meant that venture capitalists, angel investors, and startup founders were a constant presence on campus. Sam attended lectures, networking events, and pitch competitions, absorbing information about how startups were funded and built. He learned about the importance of timing, execution, and team dynamics, and he began to develop his own ideas about what made a successful startup. One of the most influential experiences Sam had at Stanford was his exposure to the philosophy of technology. He took courses that explored the ethical and social implications of technology, examining questions about privacy, surveillance, inequality, and the role of technology in shaping human behavior. These courses deepened Sam's understanding of the complex relationship between technology and society, and they influenced his later work on AI safety and ethics. Sam also had the opportunity to interact with leading researchers in the field of artificial intelligence during his time at Stanford. He attended lectures and seminars by some of the most prominent AI researchers in the world, and he was inspired by the potential of the field to transform every aspect of human life. These interactions solidified Sam's conviction that AI was the most important technology of the future, and they fueled his desire to be at the forefront of its development. But before Sam could pursue his AI dreams, he had another idea that he wanted to explore. It was an idea that would become his first startup, and it would teach him valuable lessons about entrepreneurship, technology, and the gap between a great idea and a successful company. Chapter 4: Looped, the first taste of startup life. In 2005, while still a student at Stanford, Sam Altman co-founded Looped, a location-based social networking app. The concept was ahead of its time. Looped allowed users to share their location with friends and discover nearby events, restaurants, and activities. In an era before smartphones were ubiquitous and before apps like Foursquare and Yelp dominated the location-based services market, Looped was a pioneering effort. The idea was simple but powerful. What if your phone could help you connect with the people and places around you? What if technology could bridge the gap between the digital world and the physical world? Sam and his co-founders believed that location-based services would become a major category of technology, and they were right. The market would eventually explode with GPS-enabled apps and services, but Looped was there first. Sam dropped out of Stanford to focus on Looped full-time. This was a bold move and one that was becoming increasingly common in the tech world. The stories of Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, and other college dropouts who went on to build billion-dollar companies were fresh in everyone's mind. Sam was not naive about the risks, but he was driven by a conviction that Looped could become something big. The early days of Looped were exciting but challenging. Sam and his team worked long hours, often sleeping at the office and surviving on pizza and energy drinks. They pitched to investors, built prototypes, and iterated on their product based on user feedback. Sam learned the fundamentals of running a startup: how to manage a team, how to allocate resources, how to make decisions under uncertainty, and how to deal with the inevitable setbacks and failures that come with building something new. Looped raised money from investors, including some notable names in the venture capital world. The company grew, attracting users and attention. But as with many first-mover companies, Looped faced challenges in monetizing its product and competing with larger, better-funded competitors. The location-based services market became increasingly crowded, with companies like Foursquare, Yelp, and eventually Google and Apple entering the space with their own location-aware features. During the Looped years, Sam learned many of the fundamental lessons that would later make him a successful investor and leader. He learned about the importance of product-market fit, the challenges of scaling a startup, and the need to be adaptable in the face of changing market conditions. He also learned about the human side of running a company: how to manage a team, how to deal with conflict, and how to maintain morale during difficult times. One of the most valuable lessons Sam learned at Looped was the importance of timing. Looped was ahead of its time, and while being first to market can be an advantage, it can also mean spending too much time and money educating the market about a concept that is not yet ready for mainstream adoption. This lesson would later inform Sam's approach to evaluating startups at Y Combinator, where he would become known for his ability to assess whether a company's timing was right. Sam also learned about the importance of focus and execution. At Looped, he and his team sometimes found themselves trying to do too many things at once, spreading their resources thin and losing focus on the core product. This experience taught Sam the value of simplicity and the need to prioritize ruthlessly, lessons that would later serve him well at OpenAI. In 2012, Looped was acquired by Green Dot Corporation, a financial technology company, for approximately $43.4 million. It was not the billion-dollar exit that Sam had originally envisioned, but it was a respectable outcome, and more importantly, it was a learning experience that shaped Sam's approach to future ventures. The Looped years taught Sam several important lessons. First, timing matters. Looped was ahead of its time, and while being first to market can be an advantage, it can also mean spending too much time and money educating the market about a concept that is not yet ready for mainstream adoption. Second, building a successful company requires more than just a great idea. It requires execution, adaptability, and the ability to navigate an ever-changing competitive landscape. Third, and perhaps most importantly, the experience taught Sam that he wanted to be involved in something bigger than any single company or product. He wanted to work on problems that could change the course of human history. Chapter 5: Y Combinator, the birthplace of giants. After the acquisition of Looped, Sam Altman could have taken some time off. He could have traveled, written a book, or simply enjoyed the fruits of his labor. But Sam was not the kind of person who sits still for long. He was already thinking about his next move, and that move would take him to the heart of the startup ecosystem. Y Combinator is often described as the most important startup accelerator in the world. Founded in 2005 by Paul Graham, Jessica Livingston, Robert Morris, and Trevor Blackman, Y Combinator had already become a powerhouse by the time Sam Altman joined as a part-time partner in 2011. The accelerator was responsible for launching some of the most successful startups in history, including Airbnb, Dropbox, Stripe, Reddit, and Twitch. Sam's journey with Y Combinator began when he was still running Looped. He had been through the Y Combinator program as a founder, experiencing firsthand the intensive 3-month program that included mentoring, networking, and a demo day where startups presented their companies to investors. The experience had been transformative, and Sam knew that he wanted to be involved with Y Combinator in some capacity. In 2011, Sam joined Y Combinator as a part-time partner. He quickly made an impression with his sharp mind, his ability to evaluate startups, and his infectious enthusiasm for technology. Sam had a gift for seeing potential where others saw risk. He could look at a young startup with a rough prototype and a small team, and envision what it could become if given the right guidance and resources. Sam's approach to evaluating startups was different from many of his peers. While many investors focused on metrics like revenue, user growth, and market size, Sam placed a high value on the founders themselves. He believed that the most important factor in a startup's success was the quality of the people behind it. He looked for founders who were resilient, intelligent, and deeply passionate about their ideas. He wanted to invest in people, not just products. This people-first approach to investing would become a hallmark of Sam's leadership at Y Combinator and later at OpenAI. He understood that building great companies and great technologies required great people, and he had an uncanny ability to identify talent and potential. As a part-time partner at Y Combinator, Sam also developed his skills as a mentor and advisor. He spent countless hours meeting with founders, reviewing business plans, and providing feedback on products and strategies. He learned to ask the right questions, to identify the core assumptions behind a business model, and to challenge founders to think more deeply about their ideas. Sam's approach to mentoring was direct and no-nonsense. He did not sugarcoat his feedback, and he did not shy away from delivering difficult truths. But he also provided support and encouragement, and he genuinely cared about the success of the founders he worked with. This combination of candor and compassion made him one of the most respected and sought-after mentors in the startup ecosystem. During his time as a part-time partner, Sam also developed a deep understanding of the startup funding ecosystem. He learned about the different stages of startup financing, from seed rounds to Series A and beyond, and he gained insight into the dynamics of venture capital and the relationship between founders and investors. This knowledge would later prove invaluable when he took the helm of Y Combinator and began shaping the organization's approach to funding and supporting startups. Sam's experience at Y Combinator also reinforced his belief in the power of community. He saw how the Y Combinator network brought together founders, investors, and mentors in a collaborative ecosystem that created value for everyone involved. He believed that this model of community-driven innovation could be scaled and replicated, and he worked to expand Y Combinator's network and reach. Chapter 6: Leading Y Combinator to New Heights. In 2014, Sam Altman was named president of Y Combinator, succeeding Paul Graham, who stepped down to focus on other projects. It was a significant moment for Sam and for Y Combinator. Sam was only 28 years old, making him one of the youngest leaders of such a prominent institution in the tech world. Sam's tenure as president of Y Combinator was marked by a significant expansion of the accelerator's scope and ambition. Under his leadership, Y Combinator grew from a small, intimate program that funded a few dozen startups per batch to a massive operation that invested in hundreds of companies each year. The average batch size increased, and Y Combinator began funding startups at earlier stages, including pre-revenue companies with nothing more than an idea and a team. Sam also expanded Y Combinator's reach beyond the traditional tech hubs of Silicon Valley and San Francisco. He recognized that great ideas could come from anywhere, and he worked to make Y Combinator more accessible to founders from diverse backgrounds and geographies. The accelerator began accepting startups from outside the United States, and Sam pushed for more inclusive selection processes that would give underrepresented founders a fair shot. One of the most significant changes Sam implemented at Y Combinator was the creation of the YC Continuity Fund, a growth stage investment fund that allowed Y Combinator to continue investing in its portfolio companies after the initial seed stage. This was a strategic move that addressed a gap in the startup funding ecosystem. Many Y Combinator alumni struggled to raise follow-on funding after their initial seed round, and the Continuity Fund was designed to bridge that gap. Under Sam's leadership, Y Combinator also launched several new initiatives, including YC Research, a nonprofit research organization dedicated to studying the long-term effects of technology on society, and YC Growth, a program designed to help late-stage startups scale their operations. These initiatives reflected Sam's broader vision for Y Combinator as not just a startup accelerator, but a force for good in the world. During his time at Y Combinator, Sam was responsible for funding and mentoring some of the most successful startups in recent memory. Companies that went through the Y Combinator program during Sam's tenure included Airbnb, Stripe, Dropbox, Coinbase, DoorDash, Instacart, Reddit, Twitch, and many others. These companies have collectively created millions of jobs and generated hundreds of billions of dollars in value, and many of their founders credit Y Combinator and Sam Altman with playing a crucial role in their success. But Sam's impact at Y Combinator went beyond just the companies he funded. He became a mentor and advisor to countless founders, sharing his insights and experience with anyone who was willing to listen. He was known for his direct, no-nonsense feedback and for his ability to see through the noise and identify the core issues facing a startup. Founders who worked with Sam often described him as demanding but fair, a leader who pushed them to be better while also providing the support and guidance they needed to succeed. Sam's time at Y Combinator also deepened his understanding of the technology industry and the role that artificial intelligence was poised to play in shaping the future. He saw firsthand how quickly technology could change the world, and he became increasingly concerned about the potential risks and benefits of AI. These concerns would eventually lead him to step down from Y Combinator and pursue a new mission, ensuring that artificial intelligence benefited all of humanity. Chapter 7: The OpenAI Beginning, a Mission for Humanity. The story of OpenAI begins with a dinner party. In the summer of 2015, a group of prominent technology leaders and researchers gathered at Sam Altman's home in Napa Valley, California. Among the guests were Elon Musk, the founder of Tesla and SpaceX, Peter Thiel, the co-founder of PayPal and a prominent venture capitalist, and several leading AI researchers. The conversation that evening was wide-ranging, but it kept coming back to one topic: artificial intelligence. The group discussed the latest advances in machine learning, the potential applications of AI, and the risks that could arise if this powerful technology was not developed responsibly. There was a shared sense of excitement about the possibilities of AI, but also a deep concern about the potential for misuse or unintended consequences. From this dinner party, the idea for OpenAI was born. Sam Altman and Elon Musk were the driving forces behind the creation of OpenAI, and they shared a vision of building an artificial intelligence research organization that would prioritize safety and the well-being of humanity over profit and competitive advantage. OpenAI was officially founded in December 2015 as a nonprofit research organization. The mission was stated clearly in the founding charter: to advance digital intelligence in the way that is most likely to benefit humanity as a whole, without the need to generate financial returns. The organization was structured as a nonprofit to ensure that its decisions would be guided by its mission rather than by the interests of shareholders. The initial funding for OpenAI came from a group of high-profile donors, including Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Sam Altman, and several other technology luminaries. The total initial investment was reported to be around $1 billion, a staggering amount that reflected both the ambition of the project and the wealth of its supporters. Sam Altman served as the co-chair of OpenAI from its founding, working alongside Elon Musk and a team of world-class AI researchers. The organization attracted top talent from academia and industry, including researchers who had made groundbreaking contributions to the field of machine learning. The goal was to build a research organization that could compete with the largest technology companies in the world, including Google, Facebook, and Microsoft, which were investing billions of dollars in AI research. From the beginning, OpenAI was different from other AI research organizations. It was committed to openness and transparency, publishing its research and making its tools available to the broader community. This was a departure from the secretive approach taken by many large technology companies, which often kept their AI research private to maintain a competitive advantage. OpenAI also took a different approach to AI safety. While many researchers and companies focused primarily on making AI more powerful and capable, OpenAI placed a high priority on ensuring the AI systems were safe, reliable, and aligned with human values. This focus on safety was central to OpenAI's mission and would become increasingly important as the organization developed more powerful AI systems. Sam Altman's role at OpenAI evolved over the years. In 2019, he stepped down as president of Y Combinator to focus full-time on OpenAI, where he took on the role of CEO. It was a pivotal moment for Sam, marking his transition from the world of venture capital and startup mentorship to the frontier of artificial intelligence research and development. As CEO of OpenAI, Sam brought the same qualities that had made him successful at Y Combinator: a sharp analytical mind, a deep understanding of technology, and an ability to inspire and motivate people. He set about building a world-class team, attracting top researchers and engineers from academia and industry. He also worked to secure the funding and resources needed to compete with the largest technology companies in the world. Under Sam's leadership, OpenAI developed a series of increasingly powerful AI models. The GPT-2 model, released in 2019, demonstrated the potential of large language models to generate coherent and coherent text. The GPT-3 model, released in 2020, took this to a new level, showing that large language models could perform a wide range of tasks, from writing essays to generating code to answering questions about the world. Sam was particularly excited about the potential of GPT-3 and the models that would follow. He saw them as stepping stones toward artificial general intelligence, and he believed that the key to unlocking the potential of AI was to make it accessible to as many people as possible. This belief led to the decision to release GPT-3 as an API, allowing developers and researchers around the world to build applications powered by OpenAI's technology. The decision to release GPT-3 as an API was controversial. Some within OpenAI argued that the technology was too powerful to be released publicly and that it could be used for harmful purposes. But Sam believed that the benefits of openness outweighed the risks and that the best way to ensure that AI was developed responsibly was to involve as many people as possible in the process. Chapter 8: ChatGPT. The world changes overnight. If there is a single moment that defines Sam Altman's legacy and the impact of OpenAI on the world, it is the launch of ChatGPT in November 2022. The release of ChatGPT was not just a product launch. It was a cultural phenomenon that captured the imagination of millions of people around the world and fundamentally changed the conversation about artificial intelligence. ChatGPT is a large language model (LLM) based on OpenAI's GPT generative pre-trained transformer architecture. It is designed to understand and generate human-like text based on the prompts it receives. The model was trained on a massive dataset of text from the internet, books, and other sources, allowing it to generate responses on virtually any topic. The concept of large language models was not new when ChatGPT launched. OpenAI had been developing GPT models for several years, and other companies and research organizations had been working on similar technologies. But ChatGPT was different in several important ways. First, ChatGPT was designed to be conversational. Unlike previous language models, which often produced stilted or awkward responses, ChatGPT was capable of engaging in natural, flowing conversations. It could answer questions, write essays, tell stories, and even engage in philosophical discussions. The quality of its responses was remarkably high, often indistinguishable from text written by a human. Second, ChatGPT was easy to use. OpenAI designed the interface to be simple and intuitive, allowing anyone to interact with a model without any technical expertise. Users could type a question or prompt and receive a response in seconds. The simplicity of the interface, combined with the power of the underlying model, made ChatGPT accessible to a massive audience. Third, ChatGPT was launched at a time when the public was primed for a breakthrough in artificial intelligence. The years leading up to the launch had seen growing interest in AI, driven by advances in machine learning, the success of AI-powered products like self-driving cars and virtual assistants, and increasing media coverage of AI research and its potential impact on society. ChatGPT was the moment when all of these trends converged and the world suddenly realized that AI had arrived. The response to ChatGPT was nothing short of extraordinary. Within days of its launch, the model attracted millions of users. People used ChatGPT for everything from writing emails and essays to generating code, planning trips, and even seeking advice on personal matters. The model's versatility and accessibility made it a viral sensation, and it quickly became one of the fastest growing applications in history. For Sam Altman, the launch of ChatGPT was a validation of years of work and investment. It demonstrated that OpenAI's approach to AI development was working, and it showed the world that artificial intelligence had reached a level of sophistication that many had thought was still years away. But Sam also recognized that the launch of ChatGPT was just the beginning. The technology had enormous potential for good, but it also posed significant risks, and Sam was determined to ensure that OpenAI navigated those risks responsibly. The impact of ChatGPT extended far beyond the technology industry. It sparked a global conversation about the future of work, education, creativity, and society. Educators worried about students using ChatGPT to cheat on assignments. Writers and artists feared that AI could replace human creativity. Business leaders wondered how AI would transform their industries. Governments and regulators scrambled to understand the implications of a technology that seemed to be advancing faster than anyone had anticipated. Sam Altman found himself at the center of this global conversation. He became one of the most visible and influential voices on AI, giving interviews, testifying before Congress, and meeting with world leaders to discuss the implications of artificial intelligence. He was both a champion of AI's potential and a cautious advocate for responsible development, a combination that made him a unique figure in the tech world. The success of ChatGPT also had a profound impact on OpenAI as an organization. The company's valuation soared, and it became one of the most valuable startups in the world. OpenAI attracted billions of dollars in investment, and its team grew rapidly. The company expanded its research efforts, developing new models and capabilities that pushed the boundaries of what AI could achieve. Sam used the success of ChatGPT as an opportunity to advocate for responsible AI development. He called for governments and regulators to establish clear rules and guidelines for AI, and he argued that the technology industry needed to take a proactive approach to safety and ethics. He also pushed for greater transparency in AI development, arguing that the public had a right to understand how AI systems worked and what they were capable of. The success of ChatGPT also sparked a fierce competition in the AI industry. Google, Microsoft, Meta, and other tech giants accelerated their own AI efforts, and a wave of startups emerged to compete in the space. Sam welcomed this competition, arguing that it would drive innovation and lead to better outcomes for everyone. But he also warned that the race to develop AI could lead to cutting corners on safety, and he called for the industry to prioritize responsible development. Chapter 9: The Drama, Board Turmoil and Return. The story of OpenAI took a dramatic turn in November 2023, almost exactly 1 year after the launch of ChatGPT. In a shock move that sent shockwaves through the technology industry and beyond, the board of directors of OpenAI fired Sam Altman as CEO. The reasons for Sam's firing were initially unclear, and the circumstances surrounding the decision were murky. The board issued a statement saying that Sam had not been consistently candid in his communications with the board and that they had lost confidence in his ability to lead the organization. The statement was vague and left more questions than answers, and the suddenness of the decision caught virtually everyone off guard, including many of OpenAI's own employees. The reaction to Sam's firing was swift and intense. OpenAI employees, many of whom were deeply loyal to Sam, were stunned and angry. Many of them signed a letter demanding the board reinstate Sam, and some threatened to resign if he was not brought back. The letter was signed by the vast majority of OpenAI's workforce, including several senior researchers and executives. The tech industry rallied behind Sam as well. Former employees, investors, and industry leaders spoke out in support of Sam, expressing shock and disappointment at the board's decision. The situation quickly became a public relations disaster for OpenAI's board, which found itself isolated and under intense pressure. In the days following Sam's firing, OpenAI went through a period of chaos and uncertainty. The company named an interim CEO, and the board began searching for a permanent replacement. But the search proved to be more difficult than anticipated, as potential candidates were deterred by the turmoil and the uncertainty surrounding the organization's leadership. After several days of intense negotiations, Sam Altman was reinstated as CEO of OpenAI. The board that had fired him was restructured, with several members stepping down and new members being added. Sam returned to his role with a renewed mandate and a clear understanding that the organization needed stronger governance and more transparent communication. The episode was a painful learning experience for Sam and for OpenAI. It highlighted the challenges of governing an organization that was at the forefront of one of the most powerful and potentially disruptive technologies in history. It also raised important questions about the balance of power between a CEO and a board of directors, and about the role of corporate governance in ensuring that organizations like OpenAI operate responsibly. For Sam, the experience was humbling but also clarifying. It reinforced his belief that the mission of OpenAI was bigger than any individual, and that the organization needed to be structured in a way that would allow it to fulfill its mission regardless of who was leading it. It also strengthened his resolve to ensure that OpenAI continued to push the boundaries of AI development while remaining committed to safety and ethical principles. Chapter 10: Microsoft and the Corporate Dance. One of the most significant aspects of OpenAI's story is its relationship with Microsoft. The partnership between OpenAI and Microsoft is one of the most consequential corporate relationships in the history of technology, and it has played a crucial role in shaping the trajectory of AI development. Microsoft first invested in OpenAI in 2019, committing $1 billion over several years as part of a broader partnership. The investment was a signal of Microsoft's serious commitment to artificial intelligence and its belief that OpenAI was one of the leading organizations in the field. The partnership gave OpenAI access to Microsoft's cloud computing resources, which were essential for training the large language models that would eventually power ChatGPT. The relationship deepened over time, with Microsoft investing additional billions of dollars in OpenAI and integrating OpenAI's technology into its own products and services. Microsoft's investment in OpenAI was not just a financial transaction. It was a strategic move that positioned Microsoft as a leader in the AI race and gave OpenAI the resources it needed to compete with Google and other tech giants. The integration of OpenAI's technology into Microsoft products was rapid and far-reaching. Microsoft added AI-powered features to its Bing search engine, its Office suite of productivity tools, and its Azure cloud computing platform. The company also developed GitHub Copilot, an AI-powered code completion tool based on OpenAI's Codex model, which became one of the most popular developer tools in the world. For Sam Altman, the Microsoft partnership was a double-edged sword. On one hand, it provided OpenAI with the resources and infrastructure it needed to develop cutting-edge AI technology. On the other hand, it created a complex web of dependencies and relationships that required careful management. Sam had to navigate the interests of a massive corporation while staying true to OpenAI's mission and values. The relationship also raised questions about the concentration of power in the AI industry. With Microsoft as its largest investor and partner, OpenAI was closely aligned with one of the most powerful technology companies in the world. This raised concerns about competition, innovation, and the potential for Microsoft to exert undue influence over OpenAI's decisions and direction. Sam addressed these concerns by emphasizing OpenAI's independence and its commitment to its original mission. He argued that the partnership with Microsoft was necessary for OpenAI to achieve its goals and that the organization retained the freedom to make its own decisions about AI development and deployment. He also pointed out that the competitive landscape in AI was dynamic and rapidly evolving, and that no single company or partnership could dominate the field. The Microsoft partnership also had a profound impact on the broader AI industry. It demonstrated that AI development required massive resources and infrastructure, and it set a precedent for collaboration between AI research organizations and large technology companies. Other AI companies, including Anthropic and Cohere, followed suit, establishing partnerships with cloud providers and technology companies to access the resources they needed to compete. Sam's handling of the Microsoft relationship also demonstrated his ability to navigate complex corporate dynamics. He maintained a balance between leveraging Microsoft's resources and preserving OpenAI's independence, a delicate dance that required constant attention and careful management. His success in this regard was a testament to his diplomatic skills and his ability to build trust with a wide range of stakeholders. The partnership also raised important questions about the future of AI development. As AI becomes more powerful and more pervasive, the relationships between AI research organizations, technology companies, and governments will become increasingly important. Sam's experience with Microsoft provides a useful model for how these relationships can be structured in a way that promotes innovation while also ensuring that the benefits of AI are shared widely. Chapter 11, The Vision, What Sam Altman Wants for AI. To understand Sam Altman's vision for artificial intelligence, it is necessary to look beyond the headlines and the drama and to consider the deeper motivations that drive his work. Sam is not just building AI technology for the sake of building technology. He is driven by a vision of a future in which artificial intelligence benefits all of humanity. Sam has articulated this vision in many ways over the years, but certain themes are consistent and recurring. First, he believes that AI has the potential to solve some of the most pressing problems facing humanity, from climate change and disease to poverty and inequality. He sees AI as a tool that can augment human intelligence and capability, enabling people to achieve things that would have been impossible without it. Second, Sam is deeply concerned about the risks of AI. He has spoken publicly about the potential for AI to be used for harmful purposes, from surveillance and manipulation to autonomous weapons and mass employment. He believes that the development of AI must be guided by strong ethical principles and that organizations developing AI must take responsibility for the consequences of their work. Third, Sam believes in the importance of openness and transparency in AI development. He has argued that the benefits of AI should be shared widely, and that the technology should not be controlled by a small number of companies or individuals. This belief has informed OpenAI's approach to publishing its research and making its tools available to the broader community, although the organization has also faced criticism for not always living up to these ideals. Fourth, Sam is focused on the long-term implications of AI. He has spoken about the concept of artificial general intelligence (AGI), a hypothetical form of AI that would be capable of performing any intellectual task that a human can perform. Sam believes that AGI is achievable and that OpenAI is on a path to developing it. He also believes that the development of AGI must be approached with extreme caution, as the consequences of creating a machine intelligence that exceeds human intelligence would be profound and far-reaching. Sam's vision for AI is ambitious and, in many ways, idealistic. He genuinely believes that AI can be a force for good in the world, and he has dedicated his career to making that belief a reality. But he is also pragmatic and realistic about the challenges involved. He knows that the path to beneficial AI is not straightforward and that it will require hard work, careful planning, and difficult trade-offs. One of the most striking aspects of Sam's vision is his emphasis on the long term. While many technology leaders focus on quarterly results and short-term gains, Sam thinks in terms of decades and centuries. He believes that the decisions made today about AI development will have consequences that extend far into the future, and he is determined to ensure that those consequences are positive. Sam has also been vocal about the need for new institutions and frameworks to govern AI. He has argued that existing legal and regulatory frameworks are inadequate to address the challenges posed by AI, and he has called for the creation of new international bodies and agreements to ensure that AI is developed and deployed in a way that benefits all of humanity. Sam's vision extends beyond just technology. He has spoken about the need for economic and social reforms to address the disruptions that AI is likely to cause. He has advocated for universal basic income, education reform, and other policies that would help people adapt to a world in which AI plays an increasingly central role. Chapter 12: Personal Life and Character. Behind the public persona of Sam Altman, the CEO and tech visionary, there is a person with a rich personal life and a complex character. Understanding Sam as a person helps to illuminate why he makes the decisions he does and what drives him to work so relentlessly on problems that most people would consider too difficult or too risky. Sam is known for his charisma and his ability to connect with people from all walks of life. He has a warmth and openness that puts people at ease, and he is genuinely interested in hearing different perspectives and ideas. Despite his success and his position of power, he remains approachable and down to earth, a quality that is often attributed to his Midwest upbringing. Sam is also known for his intellectual curiosity. He reads voraciously, covering a wide range of topics from technology and science to history and philosophy. He is a voracious consumer of information, and he loves to engage in deep conversations about ideas and concepts. Many of his colleagues and friends describe him as one of the most intellectually stimulating people they have ever met. In terms of personal interests, Sam has a passion for technology that extends beyond his work at OpenAI. He is an avid user of the latest gadgets and software, and he is always experimenting with new tools and platforms. He is also interested in renewable energy, space exploration, and other technologies that have the potential to transform the world. Sam has been open about his personal life, including his sexuality. As a gay man in the technology industry, he has been a vocal advocate for LGBTQ+ rights and inclusion. He has spoken about the challenges he faced growing up and the importance of being true to oneself, and he has used his platform to support organizations and causes that promote diversity and equality. Sam is also known for his simple lifestyle, which stands in contrast to the extravagance of many tech billionaires. He has spoken about his preference for simplicity, and he is not known for the kind of lavish spending or ostentatious displays of wealth that are common in Silicon Valley. This modesty is consistent with his Midwest roots and his belief that wealth is a tool, not an end in itself. In terms of leadership style, Sam is known for being demanding but fair. He sets high standards for himself and for the people around him, and he expects excellence in everything that OpenAI does. But he also values honesty, transparency, and collaboration, and he creates an environment where people feel comfortable sharing their ideas and challenging conventional wisdom. Sam's leadership style has evolved over the years. In the early days of Looped, he was known for being hands-on and involved in every detail of the company's operations. As he gained experience and took on larger roles, he learned to delegate and to trust the people around him. At OpenAI, he has built a team of world-class researchers and executives, and he gives them the freedom to pursue their ideas while providing guidance and direction. Sam is also known for his ability to communicate complex ideas in a way that is accessible and engaging. He is a gifted public speaker, and he has a talent for making technical concepts understandable to a general audience. This ability has made him an effective advocate for AI, and it has helped to build public understanding and support for the technology. Sam's personal relationships also play an important role in his life and work. He maintains close friendships with many of the people he has worked with over the years, and he values the support and perspective that these relationships provide. He is also close to his family, and he has spoken about the importance of maintaining strong personal connections in the midst of a demanding career. Chapter 13: Criticisms and Controversies. No biography of Sam Altman would be complete without addressing the criticisms and controversies that have accompanied his career. Sam is a complex figure, and not everyone agrees with his approach to AI development or his leadership style. One of the most significant criticisms of SAM and OpenAI relates to the organization's transition from a nonprofit to a for-profit structure. When OpenAI was founded in 2015, it was established as a nonprofit research organization dedicated to benefiting humanity. But over time, the organization created a for-profit subsidiary and eventually transitioned to a cap profit structure, in which investors can earn a limited return on their investment. Critics have argued that this transition was a betrayal of OpenAI's original mission and values. They contend that the shift to a for-profit structure has prioritized financial returns over the safety and well-being of humanity, and that it has created conflicts of interest that undermine the organization's ability to act in the public interest. Sam has defended the transition, arguing that it was necessary to attract the investment and talent needed to compete in the AI race, and that the capped profit structure ensures that the organization's mission remains the primary focus. Another area of criticism relates to the safety and reliability of OpenAI's AI systems. While OpenAI has made safety a core part of its mission, critics have questioned whether the organization has done enough to ensure that its technology is safe and reliable. There have been instances where OpenAI's models have produced harmful or biased content, raising concerns about the potential for AI to be used for malicious purposes. Sam has acknowledged these concerns and has committed to making safety a top priority. OpenAI has invested heavily in safety research and has developed a range of tools and techniques for detecting and mitigating harmful content. But the rapid pace of AI development means that new challenges and risks are constantly emerging, and there is no guarantee that OpenAI will always be able to stay ahead of them. There have also been criticisms of Sam's leadership style and his role in the organization's governance. The board turmoil of 2023, in which Sam was fired and then reinstated, raised questions about the effectiveness of OpenAI's governance structures and Sam's relationship with the board. Some critics have argued that Sam's return to power demonstrated a concentration of control in the hands of a single individual, which could be dangerous for an organization developing such powerful technology. Sam has also faced criticism for his public persona and his role in the media. Some have accused him of being too focused on publicity and self-promotion, and of using his media presence to shape public perception of OpenAI and its mission. Others have praised Sam for his transparency and his willingness to engage in public discourse about the implications of AI. Another area of criticism relates to OpenAI's approach to competition. Some have argued that OpenAI has been too aggressive in its pursuit of market share, and that its partnerships with large technology companies like Microsoft have concentrated power in the hands of a few players. Critics contend that this concentration of power could stifle innovation and lead to worse outcomes for consumers and society. Sam has also been criticized for his views on AI regulation. While he has called for greater government oversight of AI, some have argued that his proposals do not go far enough and that more stringent regulations are needed to protect the public from the potential harms of AI. Others have argued that Sam's calls for regulation are self-serving, designed to create barriers to entry that would protect OpenAI's market position. Sam has responded to these criticisms by emphasizing his commitment to OpenAI's mission and by pointing to the organization's track record of responsible development. He has acknowledged that there are legitimate concerns about AI and that there is room for improvement in OpenAI's approach, but he has also argued that the benefits of AI far outweigh the risks and that the best way to address the challenges is through collaboration and innovation. Chapter 14: The Legacy. So far as of the time of writing, Sam Altman's legacy is still being written. He is a young man, relatively speaking, with many years of work and influence ahead of him. But even at this early stage, his contributions to the technology industry and to the field of artificial intelligence are significant and far-reaching. At Y Combinator, Sam helped to build one of the most important institutions in the startup ecosystem. He mentored and supported hundreds of founders, many of whom have gone on to build companies that have transformed industries and created millions of jobs. His people-first approach to investing and his emphasis on resilience and passion have influenced a generation of entrepreneurs and investors. At OpenAI, Sam has been at the forefront of one of the most important technological developments in human history. Under his leadership, OpenAI has developed some of the most advanced AI systems in the world, including ChatGPT, which has captured the imagination of millions of people and demonstrated the potential of artificial intelligence. Sam has also been a leading voice on AI safety and ethics, advocating for responsible development and deployment of AI technology. Sam's influence extends beyond his formal roles and organizations. He has become one of the most prominent and influential figures in the technology industry, and his opinions and decisions have shaped the direction of AI development. He has testified before Congress, met with world leaders, and participated in countless public discussions about the implications of AI. His voice has added nuance and depth to the conversation about the future of technology and its impact on society. Sam's influence is also felt in the broader culture. He has become a symbol of the potential and the peril of artificial intelligence, and his story has captured the imagination of people around the world. He has been the subject of numerous articles, interviews, and documentaries, and his views on AI are widely quoted and debated. Whether you agree with him or not, there is no denying that Sam Altman has become one of the most important voices in the conversation about the future of technology. Sam's legacy is also reflected in the people he has mentored and supported. The founders and leaders who have worked with Sam at Y Combinator and OpenAI carry forward his values and his vision, and they are shaping the future of technology in their own ways. The network of people who have been influenced by Sam's work and ideas is vast and growing, and it will continue to have an impact on the world for years to come. But Sam's legacy is not without its complexities. The controversies and criticisms that have accompanied his career are part of his story, and they raise important questions about the balance of power, the role of corporate governance, and the ethical responsibilities of those who develop transformative technologies. These questions will continue to be debated for years to come, and the answers that emerge will shape not just Sam's legacy but the legacy of the AI industry as a whole. Chapter 15: What Comes Next? The story of Sam Altman and OpenAI is far from over. As artificial intelligence continues to advance at an unprecedented pace, the decisions made by Sam and his team at OpenAI will have profound implications for the future of technology, society, and humanity itself. Sam has made it clear that OpenAI's ultimate goal is the development of artificial general intelligence (AGI), a form of AI that would be capable of performing any intellectual task that a human can perform. This is one of the most ambitious goals in the history of technology, and it is a goal that carries enormous risks and rewards. If achieved, AGI could unlock solutions to some of the most pressing problems facing humanity. But it could also pose existential risks if it is not developed and deployed responsibly. Sam has also spoken about the importance of ensuring that the benefits of AI are shared widely. He has advocated for policies and institutions that would distribute the wealth and opportunities created by AI more equitably, and he has committed OpenAI to working with governments, organizations, and individuals around the world to ensure that AI serves the interests of all people, not just a privileged few. The road ahead is uncertain and full of challenges. The AI industry is evolving rapidly, with new competitors, new technologies, and new regulatory frameworks emerging constantly. Sam and OpenAI will need to navigate this landscape with care, maintaining their commitment to their mission while adapting to the changing environment. One of the biggest challenges ahead is the development of artificial general intelligence. While Sam and OpenAI believe that AGI is achievable, the path to getting there is fraught with technical, ethical, and safety challenges. The development of AGI will require breakthroughs in multiple areas of AI research, and it will raise profound questions about the nature of intelligence, consciousness, and the relationship between humans and machines. Another major challenge is the impact of AI on the economy and society. As AI becomes more capable and more pervasive, it will transform industries, create new jobs, and make others obsolete. The transition will not be easy, and it will require new policies and institutions to ensure that the benefits of AI are shared widely and that the people who are displaced by automation are supported and retrained. Sam and OpenAI will also need to navigate the complex geopolitics of AI. The development of AI is increasingly seen as a matter of national security and economic competitiveness, and governments around the world are investing heavily in AI research and development. The competition between the United States, China, and other countries to lead in AI is intensifying, and this competition could have profound implications for the future of the technology and its impact on the world. Despite these challenges, Sam remains optimistic. He believes that the future of AI is bright and that the technology has the potential to solve some of the most pressing problems facing humanity. He is committed to working with others to ensure that AI is developed and deployed in a way that benefits everyone, and he is determined to see OpenAI's mission through to its completion. Epilogue: The human behind the machine. In the end, the story of Sam Altman is not just a story about technology or business or artificial intelligence. It is a story about a person, a human being with dreams, fears, strengths, and weaknesses. It is a story about the power of curiosity, the importance of resilience, and the value of vision. Sam Altman is not a superhero or a villain. He is a person who has dedicated his life to pursuing a vision that he believes will benefit the world. He has made mistakes, faced setbacks, and endured criticism. But he has also achieved things that most people can only dream of, and he has inspired millions of people to think bigger and to believe that a better future is possible. As artificial intelligence continues to transform the world, the decisions made by Sam Altman and OpenAI will be remembered as some of the most consequential in the history of technology. Whether those decisions are remembered as a triumph of vision and leadership or as a cautionary tale of ambition unchecked by wisdom remains to be seen. What is certain is that Sam Altman's story is still being written, and the best chapters may still be ahead. In a world that is increasingly shaped by technology, his voice, his vision, and his commitment to using AI for the benefit of humanity will continue to be important forces in shaping the future. The boy from St. Louis who took apart electronics and wrote programs for his mother's clinic has come a long way. But in many ways, he is still that same curious, driven, and optimistic young person looking at the world and seeing not just what it is, but what it could be. And that, perhaps, is the most remarkable thing about Sam Altman, his unwavering belief that the future can be better than the present, and his willingness to work tirelessly to make that belief a reality. Sam's story also serves as a reminder of the power of individual agency in shaping the future. In a world that often feels overwhelming and chaotic, Sam's journey demonstrates that one person, armed with vision, determination, and a commitment to doing the right thing, can make a real difference. His story is an inspiration to anyone who has ever dreamed of changing the world, and it is a testament to the idea that the future is not something that happens to us, but something that we create. As we look to the future, the questions raised by Sam Altman's work and career will become increasingly important. How do we ensure that AI is developed safely and responsibly? How do we distribute the benefits of AI widely and equitably? How do we govern organizations that are developing technologies with the potential to transform every aspect of human life? These are not just technical questions, they are moral and political questions that will require the input and engagement of people from all walks of life. Sam Altman has been at the center of these questions for nearly a decade, and he will continue to be a key voice in the conversation for years to come. Whether you agree with his approach or not, there is no denying that his contributions to the field of artificial intelligence have been significant and far-reaching. His story is one of ambition, innovation, and the pursuit of a better world, and it is a story that will continue to unfold for many years to come.